So where are you from?
Yeah, I'm from North Macedonia.
Would you choose a higher salary in your country or a lower salary in Vietnam?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Yeah, I would probably choose a lower salary over here in our country, yeah. Because we have a very small country, we're only 2 million people. And over here, it's really, big, diverse, interesting. And it's just a different vibe and where we're from.
So what salary do you think is reasonable for living in Vietnam?
Probably between 25 million.
Do you think it's possible to buy a house in Vietnam with a low salary?
I think it's very, very difficult, honestly. But I still think it's doable. Like if you save up.
Would you recommend foreigners to come and work in Vietnam?
Most definitely, yeah. You guys have a really cool culture. It's really diverse, really lively. I would definitely recommend to a lot of people to come here and check it out.
How is the cost of living in Vietnam compared to other countries or compared to your country?
I definitely think with our lifestyle that we want to go out and drink and party, it's a lot cheaper to do it in our country.
I think the food is a lot cheaper here. Delivery is cheaper, taxi is cheaper, coffee is cheaper. I think the main difference is the alcohol is a lot cheaper for us than for you guys. But everything else, I think it's like cheaper here than in our country.
So do you want to live in Vietnam?
I'm not sure. It has a lot of weird things. It functions very differently from here. We're here 1 month now, so it's like very fun, but I don't know if I would live here.
Where are you from?
Australia.
What would you say is the difference between cost of living compare your country and Vietnam?
There's a lot of different things really. Obviously the cost of property, some hotels are cheaper here. Food can be cheaper, but other aspect it's quite high here as well, which is surprising. But generally it's a lot cheaper than Australia.
I live in Sydney. It's very expensive in Sydney. I think Sydney is one of the most expensive places to live in the world. So I'm not sure exactly what the cost of living would be here, but I think like Sydney, it's just so high.
So how about the difference between renting a room in here and your country?
Australia is definitely a lot higher.
17 Australian dollars a day.
Do you think the cost of renting in Vietnam is reasonable for foreigners like you?
I think so. Like I say, you pay for what you get. If you want to pay more, you get the top level. But even still, that higher level in Australia, you'd be paying a lot more.
I would think, for me, it would seem reasonable. I could probably be comfortable.
Where are you from?
Spain.
How is the cost of living in Vietnam compared to your country?
Vietnam is so cheap. Where I live in Spain, it's expensive. If you want to buy some food, expensive. If you want to make traveling, it's expensive.
Vietnam, the cost of living is very affordable compared to other countries. I think back in my country, everything is very expensive, but over here, everything is very affordable and it's good. It's very nice.
The cost of living here is definitely cheaper than my current country.
Right now, Canada very high. So if we're traveling here, very inexpensive, very large difference.
Not much expensive.
Hello, what's your name and where you from?
My name is Như and I'm from Vietnam, of course.
How much do you spend in a month living in Vietnam?
I spend nearly 5 million a month for many things like eating meals every day, and sometimes clothes, skincare, coffee with my friends, hang out.
So how about the price you rent house?
I'm living in my university dormitory, so it's not cost too much, about 600.
It's so cheap.
Yes, it's quite cheap right here.
Yeah. So what's your biggest expense?
For meals eating every day, yes, about 2 million a month just to eat.
So do you think you can save money while you're living in Ho Chi Minh City?
Yeah, if I reduce my hanging out, I reduce my coffee, I think I can save money for that.
So how much money you can save per month?
About 500,000.
So do you think living in Vietnam will save more compared to other countries?
I think yes, because my friend in England, it costs very much to live in England because the meals, I don't remember, but maybe 3 times of me, yes. Vietnam is a good place to live. We just need to spend about 30, yes, for a meal.
And you can save money a lot in here.
Yes, I think that.
So is it possible to buy a house in Vietnam?
Because I'm a student, I just 5 million a month. So I think with 5 million, I can never buy a house in Ho Chi Minh City.
Oh, never?
Yes.
In your future, do you want to buy a house in here?
Yes, I want to, but with another job.
Okay, thank you so much. So where are you from?
Indonesia.
What do you do in here?
Yes, I'm working into industry.
So how much do you spend in a month living in Vietnam?
1,000 US expense. My biggest expense is rent house actually. 15 million dong.
So how about rent house in your country? Can you compare it?
Compared to Vietnam, Indonesia is more expensive actually. Indonesia more expensive compared to Vietnam, but depend on ourselves, right?
Do you think you can save money while living in Vietnam?
We are coming here for working, and surely we need to save, right? In Indonesia, we also can save. In Vietnam, also can save. Actually, the same.
Let me ask you about the whole cost of living. You live in here for the whole month.
I live in Malaysia for
currently,
currently, so the price is about 12,000 to 15,000.
12 to 15,000 ringgit.
Yeah, I live in District 2, so somehow the
price is more expensive.
For the rent for the apartment, somehow it's a little bit more expensive than some other area. Yeah, district.
How do you feel about the cost of living in Vietnam?
I could say it's cheap. It's more cheaper.
Much more cheaper than New York.
Yeah, compared to Malaysia, I feel like the rent fee for apartment in Vietnam
quite expensive.
A bit more expensive. The house, I think, is a little bit smaller.
Do you think the whole cost of living is deserved?
I think it's suitable.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
Suitable. Yeah.
Yeah, suitable. Yeah. The food is cheap. I rent it's about 4,000 ringgit.
Do you think if you live in Vietnam, you will save more money than you live in Malaysia or New York?
Oh, definitely
New
better
York,
than
New York. Yeah,
better.
better.